Good evening, beloved. Seeing as how it is daylight savings time is about to end, it's 11 o'clock at night, but it's also 10 o'clock at night because tomorrow morning, or at 2 o'clock this morning, we get to roll back, which is, good for me because it was a long day today. And that means I get an extra hour of sleep. But, I was a Loki variant today. I was Sylvie. And it was great fun, and the reaction of people was fantastic because one of my other coworkers was out at the fair was Loki. And so we had a lot of fun, and I photobombed his photos and just, totally had a great time. And we sold stuff, so it was great. But it is November 6th. Our title is At the Center of My Being is Peace. Our quote is, "They rise upwards who are settled in harmony," and that is from the Bhagavad Gita. At the center of my being is peace, the peace that is felt in the coolness of evening, when men have turned from their labor and the first star shines in the evening. No, the first star shines in the soft light of the sky. There is a freshness, a vitality, a power underlying this peace. It broods over the earth, quietly, tenderly, as a mother watches over her sleeping babe. Wow. Divine wisdom illumes me. Infinite energy activates me. All that I am and all that I have responds to the magnetic pull of divine life. In this peace, which holds me so gently, I feel strength and protection from all fear, all anxieties, and is the peace of God. It is the peace of God, and underneath it all, I feel the love of the Holy Presence. As I become more conscious of this love, all lack, all fear, all that is false, slips away as mists fade in the morning sunshine. I see God in everything, personified in all people, manifest in every event. The spirit is not separated from the person or the event. It unites each to itself, vitalizing each with the energy of its own being, creating each through its own divine imagination. I, too, am an instrument of its divine imagination. I, too, am an instrument of its perfection. I am one with deep abiding peace. I know that all is well. I know that as I permit this peace to flow through my being, through my mind and heart, every problem is released. The way is made clear before me. It is filled with joy and harmony. Wow. And I admit part of it is because I am tired. It's been a long day, and I got up early. There's a couple of lines in here that are really, really good. Up among them being the lines that tell me that when I'm focused on the divine, everything else kind of fades away. All of the fear, the lack, everything. That's what the goal of spiritual practice is. The goal of spiritual practice is to align with God, to align with those properties. And when you align with those properties, then a whole lot of things that you were worried about just kind of naturally fall away. You just, because you're now focused on this, you're not focused on that. And so that just kind of fades away, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. So at the center of my being is peace. That's one of the things that Jesse talks about when Reverend Jesse talks about the place where nothing has ever been wrong. That's the center of you that is peace. It's what I like to call the place where you meet the unfiltered God, the place where you are most divine, because you are a beloved child of God. You are a divine. You are a divine being. You carry within you a divine spark. And yes, we're divine sparks walking around in this material form. And in this material form, we can make interesting choices. And we can forget who we are. And we can forget who everybody else is, too. And so the whole point of spiritual practice is to go back and align with and remember that we are a divine spark, that we are a beloved child, that we are made in the image of, we are made by the imagination of, we are an idea of God. We are an idea of God. God is not an idea of us. We are an idea of God. And sometimes when things aren't going well, it's a good idea to go back and look at God's idea of you. Because God's idea of you is always framed in love and always through love. And so that's one of the things when things don't seem to be kind of going your way. Go back to God's idea of you and remember that God's idea of you is always love. All right. So at the center of my being is peace. And they rise up they rise up who are settled in harmony, which is a quality of God, harmony. So that's from the Bhagavad Gita. So at the center of my being is peace. The peace that is felt in the coolness of the evening when men have turned from their labor and the first star shines on the soft light of the sky. And so Ernest is in this one endeavoring to paint a picture for you of which today, that's exactly what it was. It's like when the sun went down, like the temperature dropped. The temperature just went, oh, okay, so I've been nice and comfortable today, and now the temperature's going to go down, and so I'm really going to go down. And it's also out at the Renaissance Festival, there's a lot of people there, and when the sun goes down, when it starts to drop, there's a definite shift in the roar. Because there's always this background roar of just, however many thousands of people can be in there. Because I think one day we had 31,000. And so at about that sun going down, that roar that is always in the background, it just drops. It just drops. And it's an amazing, and it's like a sense of peace just kind of settles on you. And it's interesting and odd, and so I totally relate to what he's talking about in that line. There's a freshness, a vitality, a power underlying this peace. It broods over the earth quietly, tenderly, as a mother watches over her sleeping babe. So he's painting a picture for you to kind of give you the idea of the peace that he's talking about. He's trying to evoke it in you. The divine wisdom illumes me. The infinite energy activates me. All that I am and all that I have responds to the magnetic pull of divine life. And it does. It does. We're just so, even if we can't put words to it, we're attracted to that life. We're attracted to the divine. We search for it even when we can't articulate what it is that we're searching for. Because in the end, we're all searching for love and peace. In this peace, which holds me so gently, I feel strength and protection from all fear, all anxieties. It is the peace of God, and underneath it all, I feel the love of the Holy Presence. Because God is love. God is absolutely love. And so, when you align in the divine peace, you can't help but feel the divine love. As I become more conscious of this love, all lack, all fear, all that is false slips away as mist fades in the morning sunshine. When we align with who we are, when we recognize who we are, then we focus on that, and all that is not that just kind of naturally falls away. Rita is just being super annoying right now. I know, it's bedtime. I see God in everything, personified in all people, manifest in every event. And that's the goal. That's the goal. To see God everywhere. When you look in the eyes of another, to see God looking back at you. When you look in your own eyes, to see God looking back at you. And to recognize that even if it is an event that we are like, seriously, how is this event going on? To recognize that even if it's a messy event, God is there. And focus on that and bring God out into that situation, because that's how we take the first steps to correcting a situation like that, is to recognize God is there and to focus on that, to focus on the love, to focus on that. And then solutions will naturally begin to come forth and occur. The spirit is not separated from the person or the event. It unites each to itself, vitalizing each with energy of its own being, creating through its own divine... I'm tired. I'm starting to slip. Okay, the spirit is not separated from the person or the event. It never is. And there is nothing that can do that. We can create the illusions of the separation, but we cannot create the separation. It unites each to itself, vitalizing each with the energy of its own being. All of the energy that we carry comes from spirit. Creating each through its own divine imagination. So, I too am an instrument of its divine imagination. You are an instrument of the divine imagination. You were created by the divine imagination. I too am an instrument of its perfection. So we are instruments of its wholeness. I am one with the deep, abiding peace. Now, say that to yourself. Especially if you're walking into a situation that may not be peaceful. You are bringing the peace in. The peace already exists there, but you are bringing in the deep alignment with it, so that things, and you know those people that no matter what is going on, they are an island of calm, because they carry that deep abiding peace within themselves, and they know it, and they can reach it, and they can activate it, and they can share it with others. So I am one with deep abiding peace. I know that all is well. I know that as I permit this peace to flow through my being, through my mind, through my heart, every problem is released. Did you notice that he said every problem is released? He didn't say every problem is solved, because sometimes some of the problems that we have aren't actually problems that are ours to solve. They're ours to let go of. So every problem is released. The way is made clear before me. It is filled with joy and harmony. All right. If we're going to have a mission for today, just in case you're watching this another time, I would tell you that the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to become more conscious of this love. To become more conscious of this divine imagination that we're made up of, this divine energy that we're made up of. To become more conscious of it all the time, by going to that center of peace that we always carry within us. And that's how we do it. That's how we do it. You want to feel divine love? You want to feel any and all of that? Then find that divine center of deep abiding peace within yourself. And that is what spiritual practice is for. That is what sacred music is for. That is what sacred reading is for. That's what meditation is for. Absolutely. And meditation does not mean sitting cross-legged on a pillow. There are walking meditations, there are running meditations, there are guided meditations, there are all kinds of meditations. So if you have tried meditation and haven't and don't like it, try something else. Trust me, there's a kind of meditation for you. So it's where we go to listen. And as I always do, even at this hour of the night, I'm going to remind you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever it looks like. Whatever it looks like. And tonight, that is turning the clock back, but still going to bed. It's like, I'm not staying up that extra hour, even though I've got it. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. I'm going to get that extra hour of sleep. So, and then I will see you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. All right, beloveds. I also encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body. I encourage you to drink plenty of water. I did not today. I've drunk a lot tonight, and I'm going to go take a magnesium to make sure I don't end up with cramps. And, go out and enjoy this weather. It's, tomorrow's supposed to be a beautiful day. So go out and enjoy it. Go out and enjoy it. All right. And I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. and we will have an amazing service for you at 11 as well. So have a great day, and I will see you in the morning. All right, beloveds, know that you're loved.